2 shots, 0 on target, 0 big chances, an expected goals number of just 0.22. That is the entire 120-minute attacking output of the reigning world champions in a World Cup final. Not a group stage minnow, not a team that parked the bus and hoped. This is Lionel Messi's Argentina, the same side that scored 19 goals in 7 games to reach this final, reduced to almost nothing by a Spain team that finished with 68% possession, 20 shots, and 9 corners. And before you reach for the easy explanation, well, they had a man sent off. Hold that thought. Enzo Fernández wasn't shown his second yellow until the 3rd minute of second-half stoppage time. By that point, Spain had already been strangling this game for well over an hour. The red card didn't create the pattern, it just extended it into extra time. Minutes before Ferran Torres, on as a 62nd minute substitute, scored the winner in the 106th. So how does a Luis de la Fuente side make the 2022 world champions, built around arguably the greatest player of all time, look this ordinary? It doesn't start in Argentina's box. It starts the moment they try to play out from the back. On paper, Scaloni set his team up in a 4-4-2, with Leandro Paredes left out of the starting 11. Spain lined up in their usual 4-2-3-1. But Argentina almost never stayed in a 4-4-2 once they actually had the ball. In possession, the two fullbacks, Gonzalo Montiel and Nicolas Tagliafico, pushed high and spread wide. In midfield, McAllister, Enzo Fernández, and De Paul dropped to form a midfield three. And higher up, Nico Gonzalez tucked in alongside Messi and Alvarez, turning that 4-4-2 on the team sheet into something much closer to a 4-3-3 in deep build-up. The logic: overload the middle, stretch Spain with a front three, and force a choice. Control the center and Argentina beats you wide. Control the wings and Argentina carves you up through the middle. Spain refused to make that choice at all. Instead, they pressed man-oriented, starting from Argentina's own back line. Watch this sequence. Lisandro Martinez is on the ball, and at first glance he has options everywhere. He can go wide to Tagliafico, except Lamine Yamal has already shifted his body to anticipate exactly that pass, ready to step in and cut it out. And because Yamal hasn't fully committed to Tagliafico, that same body position also blocks the lane into the half space, right where Nico Gonzalez is standing. One defender, 2 passing lanes closed. Look to McAllister instead, and Rodri is already goal-side pressing. Look for Enzo Fernández, and Mikel Oyarzabal is already on him. And Dani Olmo is closing down Martinez himself, taking away the time to even think about it. 4 passing options on the sheet, 4 of them dead. There's only one route left, long, into a header duel Argentina were never going to win against Spain's back line. And that's the pattern that repeated for 2 hours straight. Deny the short option, force it long, win the second ball, restart the siege. One more thing worth getting right here. Before the final, De La Fuente had actually said Spain would not put a dedicated marker on Messi, something he's traced back to a Sevilla youth match years earlier, where doing exactly that blew up in his face. What you just watched isn't a man assigned to shadow Messi. It's a structure built to starve everyone around him. And it worked exactly the same way. Every time Messi did get the ball in that final, there was nobody left up the pitch to give it to. Here's how total that suffocation was. By the break, Argentina hadn't just failed to score. They hadn't recorded a single shot or a single touch inside Spain's penalty area in the entire first half. That's the trap inside the trap. It wasn't only that Spain denied Argentina the ball, it's that it changed how Argentina behaved in the rare moments they actually won it back. Sit deep and get squeezed for long enough, and every regain starts to feel like an emergency. A chance you're convinced is about to be gone before you've even used it. Watch this one. McAllister wins the ball in midfield and plays it to Enzo Fernández. Enzo spots Nico Gonzalez making a run in behind and tries to find him first time, no second look. He overhits it. The ball runs through for a Spain throw-in, and the one real transition Argentina had built in several minutes is gone before it starts. That's not really a story about one misplaced pass. It's what happens when a team spends 2 hours being told they don't have time, so that even in the moments they win the ball, they still play like they don't. Scaloni made one change at the break. Leandro Paredes on, Nico Gonzalez off. His first touch was a giveaway. On the team sheet, that gives Argentina 4 midfielders against Spain's 3. Numbers up, in theory, for the individual battles in the middle. Here's the problem hidden inside that swap. Nico Gonzalez hadn't only been an attacking option, he'd been Argentina's answer to Yamal defensively, helping double up on him, while also holding the width high up the pitch to pin Pedro Porro back. Take him off and 2 jobs disappear at once, not one. Spain noticed immediately. With Argentina now a body up centrally, Yamal simply started dropping into midfield himself, turning that zone into a 4 versus 4 and canceling out the extra man on the sheet. And when Argentina did eventually break through, the cost showed up straight away. Paredes finds Alvarez, who drives forward, but there's no runner stretching the wide left channel anymore, because the player who used to provide that is now on the bench. Alvarez gets swallowed up and dispossessed. Numbers up in midfield, weaker everywhere else. Flip it around now. How did Spain actually play out from the back, against a team that for long spells barely pressed them at all? Because Argentina weren't applying real pressure on Spain's back line, goalkeeper Unai Simón was comfortable stepping up to join Cubarsí and Laporte, with Porro and Cucurella pushed high and wide, effectively a back 5 in possession. Rodri and Fabian Ruiz dropped in underneath as passing options. Yamal and Alex Baena held the width high up the pitch, pinning Argentina's fullbacks deep. And Olmo and Oyarzabal occupied Argentina's center-backs, stopping either of them from stepping out to press. Argentina defended this in a 4-4-2. Messi and Alvarez were tasked with pressing Rodri and Ruiz, with Enzo and McAllister sitting just behind to back that up, while Nico Gonzalez and De Paul focused on cutting the half spaces and pressing Spain's fullbacks. Here's how Spain bypassed it, again and again, in about 3 passes. Ruiz drops off, wide and deep, to receive. That single movement drags Enzo higher and further wide than he wants to be. At first, McAllister is doing his job, pressing Olmo, blocking the lane into him. But the moment Ruiz gets the ball and lays it back to Laporte, McAllister spots Cubarsí standing free and steps out to close him down instead. The problem? Stepping out to press Cubarsí means leaving the space behind him. And that's exactly where Olmo is standing, completely unmarked. 3 simple passes, and Spain are already through the first line. Once Spain reached the final third, the shape changed again. Porro pushed all the way up alongside Yamal on the right. Cucurella did the same alongside Baena on the left, with Olmo playing just behind Oyarzabal, effectively a 5-man attacking line. Those advancing fullbacks did 2 jobs at once, giving the wingers a passing option and a runner to distract the defense, while also occupying Argentina's wide midfielders. Because Argentina defended in a deep 4-4-2 block, they had the bodies to double up on Spain's wingers, Tagliafico and Nico Gonzalez on Yamal, Montiel and De Paul on Baena. But with the fullbacks also making runs, Argentina couldn't commit to those doubles without opening space elsewhere. That left Yamal and Baena isolated one-on-one, and against that pace and close control, one-on-one was a losing bet. Yamal beat his man 5 times in the game, Baena once. When they weren't cutting inside themselves, the wingers looked for the cutback, rolling it into the overlapping fullback for a cross, because Spain consistently flooded Argentina's box with bodies and late runners. Which is exactly how the goal came. Yamal has the ball, but is pressed by both McAllister and Tagliafico, so he lays it off to Porro. Porro whips across to the back post. Nico Williams climbs above Nahuel Molina to win it in the air and heads it back across goal. And Ferran Torres, on as a substitute less than an hour earlier, finishes first time. 106 minutes on the clock. Spain lead for the first, last, and only time in the match. It broke a goalkeeper who had, up to that point, delivered the standout individual performance of the final. Emiliano Martinez finished with 11 saves, a new World Cup final record, and it still wasn't enough. It's the end of an era for Lionel Messi, who leaves his 6th and final World Cup with 8 goals and 4 assists, a tournament-high 12 goal contributions, closing out his career as the competition's all-time leading scorer. For Spain, this is title number 2. Rodri takes home the golden ball for a midfield performance that ran on his terms from the first minute to the last, and 19-year-old Lamine Yamal becomes the youngest player in history to be crowned both European and world champion. Congratulations to the Spanish national team. This win was built way before the final whistle, and it was well-deserved, See you in the next video.